Hey guys, happy Monday. So on a topic I want to start the week off here on my entrepreneurial channel is the 4 things, and I know this to be true after 25 plus years of being an entrepreneur. I know these 4 things to really be true. 4 things to for a startup to work. It takes 4 things: the idea, the execution, the luck, and the timing. And half of those things, I'd say 2.5 of those things are in your control, and obviously luck is not in your control. But so the idea, so everybody, as a first-time entrepreneur, and again, all these things, these are all mistakes that I've made. So don't feel bad if you're currently doing this or this is what you're thinking, because this is a mistake most first-time entrepreneurs make, and that's the idea. They get so caught up in their idea, and that's normal. You're excited, right? This is the idea that's going to make it big for you and take your life to the next stage, and you're passionate about. I get all that, and again, I've been there, and I'm still very passionate about my ideas. So trust me, it's not easy to say this. A lot of the stuff I'm telling you it's counterintuitive, and it's not easy for me to tell you. But ideas are important; they really are. But without execution, they really don't mean anything. And then also the idea you first start with is most likely not going to be what you end up with. That business model is going to evolve. Your idea is going to evolve. So your idea is important because it gets you going, but don't let that stop you, or also go around and have everybody sign ADAs just to talk about your idea. That's the other thing that first-time entrepreneurs want to do, and they turn off a lot of investors and a lot of potential mentors about sharing their idea, when really you should be sharing your idea with everybody, or especially early on when you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to get feedback. So the idea is important, right? And then next up is execution, and that's just as important, and probably even more important than the idea. It is more important than the idea, because you can have the best idea in the world. If you're not going to execute on it, if you're not going to start, it's not going to work. And then execution long term, right? That's why I harp on this channel that it's got to be something you enjoy to do, because it's 2-5-10, and I should probably trademark that because I haven't heard many people talk about it. But it's 2-5-10, meaning 2 years to really figure out initially what you're doing. Like this channel, these channels, this YouTube videos that I'm doing here, in my mind, it's going to be at least 2 years just to think through and figure out and get feedback and tweak the direction. 5 years to maybe start to build something, and 10 years to truly build something. And that's the way you have to think about it. And for me, with these videos, again, I'm using as an example this channel. It doesn't matter because it's a win-win. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and if the only people who ever see this are my own kids and grandkids, then it's a plus. It's a win for me. That was really what drove me initially to do all that. And that's why you're seeing me, I'm not editing the videos. You can obviously see I'm not a great video editor, honestly. It's just me on the fly with a new iPhone 14. These new iPhones are amazing, and they're allowing me to do this in an easier way to share. So using the YouTube channel as an example is on the execution. Okay, so I've got my idea, right? Share information with people. There's a lot of people who want to share information, especially on the internet, right? YouTube, every day, I don't know, gazillions of videos are being shared. So I make myself no illusion of these videos never going viral, and that's okay. That I hope they make it to as most people as possible to help them avoid the mistakes I made. They're not mistakes. Again, those are what I'm talking about on the channel. These are you have to suffer your way to wisdom. You have to fail. To anybody who's only been a winner, I just feel really sorry for them, because they haven't seen the most important part of life, and really finding yourself and figuring who you are and go deep inside, because you need failure to do that, and without it you can't. It's hard to do it. So anyways, back to execution. So yeah, right now I'm taking the time to do these videos. I'm doing it here as I'm driving to a business meeting. Don't worry, I'm in the right lane, driving really carefully. You can tell I'm looking at the camera, look at the road. But execution. So I'm doing these videos, and who knows? I'm going to have to execute a really long time, and probably forever. maybe this channel never takes off, and again, that's okay. But you have to do it, right? You have to execute on it, and for a long period of time. It's not because I'm going to do 30 videos that magically all this is going to happen. It's going to take a long time. So in my head, it's 2 years of doing this, and really not expecting much traffic. I mean, I hope you guys engage. It'd be fun to have conversations and answer questions, and you guys help lead the conversation. Because for sure the challenge is keep talking to myself here, but here I am as if I'm talking to my kids, my grandkids, future generations of the things that I believed in, lessons that I've learned. That's the point of this channel. So execution, and then luck. Well, let's go with the timing first. Luck and timing. So timing, timing you can kind of. That's why I call it 2.5, because timing you can kind of plan that one. I mean, half of it you can't, because you just don't know how it's really going to work, if it's going to viral out. Because a lot of these businesses, like Facebooks of the world, Snapchat, all this stuff, the timing was a big part of it for them to grow and to viral out. But of course, I think the founders who were doing it saw the opportunity and knew that it was the right time to launch it. So you can kind of also select the timing, right, of when you launch something. For example, the Module company I've been working on the last 10 years, that's really my passion of building net zero, factory-built homes that are affordable. I think the timing on that is good. I mean, again, I've been on that 10 years, right? So the 2-5-10 rule definitely applies to that one as well. But it's been, it's been that journey as well of the 10 years. And the timing, I think, is good because there is such a need for affordable, attainable housing, which years ago was part of my business model. And that back then, that type of housing was needed. And I wish I could take credit for how much more is needed today, but it's only augmented, increased what everything's been going on with COVID, shortage of material, labor. It's only made that business model even more relevant. So there's something when we talk about timing that back then I knew that my timing was correct. 10 years later, it's showing that's even more true than I even thought 10 years ago. So timing, that's why I call it, kind of give it a half. Idea and execution's on you. That's all you. Timing is half. And then luck. So luck is obviously the one that, and you can create your own luck, right? There's a really great Thomas Jefferson quote that I had, actually my wife gave me years ago, that said, this is Thomas Jefferson, not me, that said, I find that the harder I work, the luckier I am. And there's a lot of truth to that. So maybe I should give a percentage of luck as well to you, and you create your own luck. But having been on the other end of that, I also know that sometimes it's just your timing and luck, just and then there's luck's not on your side. Something happens, and you quote unquote fail, and that's the word that I really want to talk about in this channel, failure. It's just such a negative connotation when really it's such a beautiful thing, and trust me, it's not easy to say that. Hindsight's always 20/20. When you're going through it, I'm not sitting there, wishing I was at that moment, but looking back, when you look at those failures and you persevere and you keep going through them, you realize that's part of the journey, part of working on yourself, which is really important, right? Because entrepreneurship is supposed to be a way to make a living, right? Not a fortune, a living at what you enjoy to do. And it's also a journey, because entrepreneurship is an expression of who you are. And to figure out who you are, if you just have wins, you're just not going to do it, because humans, we're wired to avoid pain, right? That's just how we're wired. And because of that, we don't learn much from just our wins, because it's almost like our mind is pre-wired for that. We really learn from the failure because it makes us go to a place that's just not natural to us. And that's really what you need to dig deeper. And so I've had business models that have quote unquote failed or weren't the success I was hoping them to be. And that's okay. They help me grow. They help me make the current things I'm working on better, more productive. So don't let any of that stop you from wanting to be an entrepreneur. And again, it's corny, but I love to use it. Just do it. The Nike slogan, there's so much truth to that. Most people are just dead upon arrival, meaning they don't even start, right? They don't even take the jump off the cliff. I think I've said on this channel before, I've got a good friend of mine who's very successful in corporate America, and actually was helping him, trying to help him, because he toyed with the idea of being an entrepreneur. And so, I spent some time with him going through some ideas he had. And when he kind of saw how my mind worked and kind of how I was planning to, and how I was mentoring him to launch his business, one day he told me, and I always remember this because I think there's a lot of truth to that. And again, it's the middle way for what he said. But he said, Bryce, you're the type of guy that jumps off the cliff and builds the airplane on the way down. I'm the type of guy who builds the airplane ahead of time and then jumps off the cliff. And again, there's no right or wrong. There's kind of the middle way. I'd like to think I don't completely jump off the cliff without building the airplane, that I build something, or at least some remnants of a wing, so that as I'm falling off, I can grab the wing and glide somewhere to safety. But there's definitely some truth to that, in the sense that at the end of the day, you gotta make the jump. And the idea you have now might not be the idea you're working on for 2 years from now, and that's okay. And it might not be the thing you're working on from 10 years from now, and that's okay. But the goal is really to get started, and especially in this country. When I say all this to you, this is me. I won't say fresh off the boat, but having immigrated as a young boy with my folks to the United States from Europe. I'm not saying I'm from France originally. I'm not saying in France there's no entrepreneurs, there's no way to do it, but it's a lot harder. If you guys think it's hard here, it's 1,000 times harder. And there could be French people here that could comment on this video. Maybe they fall upon it. And I'm not going to do the video in French. Mais si vous voulez me dire deux ou trois que vous pensez, allez-y, ça ferait plaisir de reconfirmer qu'est-ce que je dis sur faire du business en France. But really, doing business in France is just a lot harder in a lot of countries in Europe. So in America, if you're born here and you've never tried to do business anywhere else, I'm here to remind you how lucky you are to be in a place, in an environment that promotes entrepreneurship. This whole country is about, it was founded by entrepreneurs. The founding fathers were entrepreneurs. And so this is the place to do it. This is the place for you to jump off the cliff, hopefully with some wings built, but just go ahead and do it and try it. And with technology today, starting it on the side, you can go on Upwork. It was called Elance years ago, and I've even today, the things I'm working on, I found a lot of the folks that I work with on Upwork. So things, write down the things and I'll make another video about all this, because I don't want to go down a different rabbit hole. There's so many to go down, which is why I'm excited about this channel. So much things I want to share with you guys. But write down the things that you're good at, and the things you need help with, and I guarantee you that the things that you're not good at, you can find that on a place like Upwork. And I know there's other places. That's just the one that I've used and had success using. But you can find those other people on there that can help you build that business. And then just go test it, right? MVP, I should do another video about that. Minimum viable product, which is probably something you've heard about before. And again, I've learned this the hard way, and now I know it's being promoted more and more from other entrepreneurs who've written books that are coming to the same conclusion, is build the minimum viable product of your idea, right? The most cost-effective, simple way to communicate where you're trying to build, and go test it. Go drive traffic to it. Go see how people respond to it. Test the price, test the idea. That's what you want to do. And so whatever idea you have, and I'll make another video about this, really figure out a way to simplify it to that, to really the root of it, and figure out the easiest way to do it. So 4 things: idea, luck, timing, and execution. I know I said it in different order, but I think you get the gist. And at the end of the day, just try it, just do it, and it's a win-win, because if you start that business and you quote unquote blow a couple dollars to test it, you're gonna learn so much by doing that. so much that that's going to be money well spent. All the money I've spent on businesses that, looking back, okay, the business didn't work and it sucks, quote, the time and the money that I spent in it, but you got to look at the bigger picture, what I learned and how much more efficient and how much more successful of an entrepreneur made me the other business models. That's really the way you should look at it. So, please subscribe, comment, like. It helps drive the conversation. Obviously, I'd love this content to get to as many people as possible. I'm trying to put a different spin on entrepreneurship, kind of more holistic approach. You won't see any kind of bling on this channel. You might see my four-seater airplane, but no jets. Don't really need one. One day it happens, but really, I'm a content entrepreneur, and I don't need to have 24 houses and all this stuff, all the shiny things to consider myself a quote unquote success, right? And everyone's on their own pace, on their own mission, and if that's what you want, I'm not judging that. There's plenty of other channels on YouTube that have that, but you're probably going to be disappointed on this one. That's not me, and that's not going to be the channel. So that's also the other part of this channel, is I want to show a different view into entrepreneurship, kind of the middle way view. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and look forward to continuing the conversation. Have a great day.